Look, Bernie Sanders with the biggest individual haul in Q3, but not the biggest increase percentage-wise, at a 257% quarterly jump from 2.8 million to 10 million in the third quarter. Andrew Yang posted the largest percentage gain in fundraising amongst all Democrats to report so far, and even topped the 19% quarterly gain by President Donald Trump's re-election campaign. So he jumped up to $10 million, and that is probably why, if you're watching CNN, MSNBC, you've suddenly seen his face all over the place, but you can't deny it. They respect people who can raise money, and so you see graphics like this pop up, showing that yes, Bernie's got the most money, but hey, wait, he's not there. Even though he raised $4 million more than Cory Booker, they decided to go with Cory Booker on that. Now, he later tweeted that MSNBC corrected that eventually, but it wasn't just MSNBC. You can also see on CNN, they did effectively the same thing. And this graphic, they fit in one more person, but not one more Yang. So they put in an extra person, but still kept the Cory Booker.
Yeah.
And so I would be incredibly frustrated by that, especially coming like a huge increase in your fundraising, and they don't acknowledge it.
This seems like a small story, but it's not. It's actually a huge story because it goes to the mindset of the mainstream media.
Yeah.
They have great disdain for outsiders and they treat them as invisible. And God, this is the perfect example of it. The guy is higher than Booker, but they're like, no, he's illegitimate because he's an outsider. Whereas our beloved Senator Cory Booker, nice, bravo, 6 million. Well, the other guy raised 4 more and out of nowhere, and you guys never treated him with any respect. Now he's doing better than your beloved Senator Cory Booker. By the way, Klobuchar, where is she? Anyway, you guys all said Klobuchar was about to win, could win. Yang, right? And all of a sudden, Yang's doing great, and you still leave him out of the story. It's not because they hate Andrew Yang. It's their mindset that the people in power are by definition legitimate, and the people outside of power are by definition illegitimate.
Yeah.
And that affects everything they do.
And part of the disdain they have for it is that they feel that power, that gatekeeping power that they used to have, they feel it slipping away from them more and more every day. And it only causes them to hate these people even more.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at, I don't know, there was like a funny Chris Cillizza tweet that everyone was dunking on the other day where he was like, outside of Warren and Biden, who do you guys think has the best chance of winning the nomination? I think Buttigieg. And it's like, everyone's like, dude, like he's like so far below in the polls from the other guy that's neck and neck with Biden and Warren. And they feel this in their bones. They feel that they just aren't, they don't have the gatekeeping role that they used to. I mean, the media used to control this narrative so much more than they do these days. Yeah. And if you look at the amount of fundraising, I mean, this is a huge story. The fact that fundraising for Democratic nominations and for the presidential campaigns has been so transformed by these small dollar donations because of the internet and because of a million things, that candidates can swear off big money donations and still lead the field in terms of in money raised. That's a huge game changer. I mean, from what you guys talk about all the time, like that this is a corrupting influence at the end of the day. Yeah. So because that is what matters the most. The most thing that matters is who do you owe your power to? And if you're getting your money for your campaign from small dollar regular people, then you will owe your power to them and you will govern for them. If you owe it to executives at ExxonMobil, then you'll govern for that.
100%. Guys, I gotta say, look, that bias is more important than any other effect on the election. Russian interference.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. All right, it's bad. As anyone knows, I'm 1,000,000,000% against it, right? No one has been clearer on the record on that. But this is billions upon billions of dollars where outsiders, not people that are not yet powerful, people that are not in the elite, people that are progressive usually, are left out of the conversation, and they lose out on something really valuable, which is free media. Yeah. So, and then that's the beginning, and then the second part is where they attack you nonstop. So, obviously the most famous example is Bernie Sanders, and this happened to him in 2016. Like Yang with this remarkable rise. I mean, that is one of the most important, interesting political stories of this election cycle. They're like, yeah, but he doesn't even exist. Last time, Bernie closed a 60-point lead on Hillary Clinton. One of the most miraculous political stories of my lifetime. They're like, barely had him on television in 2015 as he closed that 60-point lead. Yeah. I mean, outrageous how they ignored him. And that cost them billions of dollars that Trump got on the other side. It swung the election definitively. And then afterward, they couldn't ignore him anymore. Negative article after negative article. And now look, on Yang, a similar effect. So he has, look, and by the way, this is not about me liking one candidate more than another. I think Cory Booker has some good ideas. I think Andrew Yang has some great ideas. And there are parts of Booker and Yang that I don't agree with. So it's not, I'm not neutral on it, but I'm super fair on it in that it depends on the policies, et cetera. So when one of Yang's great ideas is democracy dollars. And he mentioned it in a debate. I was in the media spin room, and you know what happened?
No one asked him about it.
No, not only that, they laughed. They literally
They thought it was ridiculous.
They laughed out loud. They're like, I do declare democracy dollars. And then all over Twitter, not people in the media, like they put Yang's face on monopoly money, et cetera. So stupid to try to empower people to give money instead of the wealthy and the elite. Dumb, right? In reality, people love that idea. It's a great idea. And so that's a different issue. That's the $1,000 he's giving for universal basic income. But, and by the way, Kirsten Gillibrand also had democracy dollars in her campaign. They're like, ooh, that is a beloved senator. That is very serious, right?
I'm sorry, those are Gillabucks.
But that free media is single-handedly sustaining the Biden campaign at this point.
Yeah.
If you look at the number of mentions that he gets on cable news, it's a factor of like 4 times higher than the next person.
Yeah.
And it's like, you watch the debate, like we watched it the last debate, and then you see all the mainstream pundits saying, oh, I think he won the night. And I'm like, he couldn't even complete a full sentence. I don't understand, like, what you guys are, am I watching the same thing? And that's single-handedly sustaining his campaign right now, that aura of respectability or inevitability or whatever.
And final thing is, they are so biased that despite this overwhelming evidence, they say, what bias?
Right.
I don't see any bias.
Yeah.
You leave Yang out, of course. He said, Yang. Of course you leave him out, right? But Bernie closing a 60-point lead when we all thought he'd never get above 2%. Yeah, of course you leave that out. That's not an interesting story. Yeah. And they're like, what bias? That's when you know your bias is as bad as it could possibly be, when you're blinded by it. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.